Today's topic is rather wide. It's also very exciting because there are hundreds of things that one can speak, that we can bring to this topic. But however, I'm just going to keep it very simple and flag a few things which I feel have helped me understand the contradictions and the conflicts that women come up against. First of all, I'd like to say that femininity and sexuality have to be understood as a spectrum of constructs and experiences that women live through depending on their position in class, caste, historical and cultural context. So there is no pan-Indian femininity and sexuality to begin with, because it's just too diverse as women's experiences are. In the time that I have, I can only flag some observations that help me to understand like I said, the contradictions and the conflicts that women come up against they live through this process of self-definition. So I'll do this by addressing one claim that's a very broad claim that is made and that a lot of people from India and elsewhere are aware of, that women in India have somehow arrived, that they've made drastic strides in redefining what it means to be a woman, in redefining femininity. And so they've taken a kind of a leap into almost liberation of a sort. So when we say women within this particular context, what exactly do we mean? So given that urban life, its dynamics, dominates public discourse and imagination, we generally refer, when we say women within this context that I just outlined, we generally mean urban, upper class or middle class women who are professional. They live in metro cities like Bangalore. They are part of the transnational or global workforce or in some way connected with it. So this is actually a very minute minority, but the affect that their stories has is huge, simply because they have become symbolic of New India. And they have been appropriated to project India's progress. So, but however, I think it's very interesting to look at who this group might be. So let's take a closer look.